Howdy gamers, welcome back to another Big Dumb Dog live show. It's a live show. BigDumDog, it's a live show. We're not playing anything today, guys. We're not playing anything today. Well, first off, I do want to say thank you to this guy. Oh, hold on. This guy talked to my mom today. This guy talked to my mom. My mom. I had a great morning. Internet historian watched me play Fallout for the last fucking time. That game's so goddamn long. I'm done. I'm done playing it for a while until I want to play Fallout fucking 4 again. We're going to be watching The Last of Us, Expleened. This is going to be another reaction video to an internet historian video. Us reacting to Explained. If I didn't mention it before, he was in my fucking chat this morning. You know how cool that made me feel? Made me feel pretty fucking cool. And then I went to Costco. Hated it. Didn't buy anything. Just wandered around Costco being like, man, I don't got enough money. You know how many booms Costco got for me today? No big booms. Baby, how's the audio? Alright. Shit, today's been crazy. Internet historian might pop in the chat today. Hopefully I can ask him if he's ever done a YouTube live and how I can save the chat, because I had to screenshot all the chats that Internet Historian had with me and my mom. I love my mom. She's my biggest fan. If Internet Historian can subscribe to me, why can't you? If you're watching right now and you're not subscribed, Internet Historian subscribed. If you want to be cool like Internet Historian, you should subscribe to BigDumDog on YouTube and Twitch. I mean, look at him. Look how successful Internet Historian is. He's doing something right, and one of them is following BigDumDog. Anyway, enough gushing. A little preface to, it's been a while since we've done a reaction stream. Internet Historian, a la Explained, wanted more people to react to the Explained videos. And I love Internet Historian. I watch these videos all the time. And, you know, I thought that some of the inciting and biting commentary I share with my girlfriend while we watch them over and over again could be better served on the internet. Why not? If Twitch streamers can talk about nothing, I can talk about Internet Historian. Now, let the video begin. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Everything's fucked. God damn it. Hold on a second. God, son of a bitch. Okay. Back to the video.
Gamer subs to you by Brought. Welcome to the last of United States.
Hey, that's where I'm from.
The game opens to a young girl named Sarah, and she's sleeping on the couch in her living room. And we hear the door open. It creaks, and there is her father, Joel.
Joel.
Now, Joel is talking on the phone, and he's having a disagreement with his brother, Tommy.
Listen to me. He is the contractor. He's the contractor, okay? I can't lose this job.
This job means everything to me. Way more than even my stupid
Directed
daughter.
by
Listen,
Neil
I'll call you back. I think she's listening. Then Joel turns on the living room light. There is Sarah, sitting up. Ah, I've been waiting for you, Joel.
What are you still doing up? It's late.
Open Greg.
God, what time is it?
It's way past your bedtime.
There's still time. Look, 10 minutes before your birthday ends. She then whips out a box from underneath the table next to the couch. Here you go, Dad.
Inside the box is a watch.
Where did you get the money for this?
Omnitrix.
Drugs. I sell hardcore drugs.
Sarah falls asleep on the couch, and then her dad picks her up and puts her into bed. And she's put to sleep.
Just thud. Dropped into the bed
Ring,
with
ring.
a hefty thud.
Very loudly. She picks up the phone. It's Tommy, and there's some sort of emergency happening.
Uncle Tommy, what time is it?
I need to talk to your dad now. There's something.
She's like, huh? What's going on? And she's all very confused
Video
and
was quite
sleepy.
loud.
So she gets out of bed. She starts wandering around. Where is Dad?
Turn down
So
your
she starts
volume.
wandering around the house. She goes to the bathroom. A newspaper.
can't
Admission
hear
spikes
me.
at area hospital. Mysterious infection. So Sarah walks into her dad's bedroom where
How's
there
that?
is a television
Is that
on.
good?
We've received reports
Singing
that victims
along
afflicted
at
with
the
infection
speed
show
of
signs
song,
increased
making
aggression.
it up. Life's an adventure.
There seems to be some commotion coming from the...
Perfect. Cool. Whoa. Minecraft Explosion.
So Sarah starts getting
Oh,
sleepy.
Minecraft
She calls out
mentioned?
for her dad. Then she goes into the kitchen and there's a phone on the counter. And she sees 8 missed calls from Tommy. Boy, is he clingy. Tommy says, where the hell are you?
that made my roommate
That's it. I'm
upset.
coming over right now. And we can see that it is 2 a.m.
So Sarah continues on moving around the house and goes into the office. Joel rushes in from outside through a sliding door.
Jimmy comes running right at him. It was self-defense, I swear. And Joel starts firing into Jimmy wildly. Bang, 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 bang. It's just you and me now, kid. We are the last of us. Okay, what do I do now? Come on, here comes Tommy. Let's get in the car and drive away. So Sarah hops in the car. Tommy and Joel also jump in the front, and then they start speeding away. They're driving 1,000 miles an hour.
They hit a sudden traffic jam. Someone gets out of their car and shouts, "What the hell is going on?" He's suddenly attacked by an infected person. Tommy then suddenly turns the car around. We gotta find another way out of here. So they're
Tyler
slowly
one
finding another
mentioned?
route when suddenly a car
Once in the
T-bones
chat
them.
for Tyler 1.
They all pass out. Sarah wakes up first and shakes Joel awake.
Daddy? Hey. Hey.
Joel kicks out the windscreen of the car. He gets out of the vehicle, and then suddenly he is attacked by a zombie. Joel struggles with the infected until Tommy shows up with a brick, and he cracks him over the back of the head. Lucky I always keep this brick
Obligatory
on me, huh,
Minecraft
Joel?
zombie
Joel then
noise
turns
sound
around
effect.
and says,
Heck
"Ah,
yeah.
come on, Sarah." But Sarah says,
My leg hurts.
so he picks Sarah up. The three begin running through the streets, looking for safety. And as they run, there are explosions and car crashes, and it's very cool. And there's infected everywhere. It's very cool. But they turn left into an alleyway, and they get into a bar. Tommy shuts the door behind him, and he holds it closed. Come on, Joe, you gotta get to the highway. Leave me behind. Okay. So Joel begins running up a dirt road. He's going towards the highway. He's running up the highway with the infected hot on his tail. Uh-oh, they're about to catch up when suddenly the infected
That
are
other guy
shot
didn't
by a
look
soldier
infected.
man,
We'll get you out of here, kid. And your dad, too.
says the man from the army.
Hold on. Let me just radio into my command. One moment.
A couple of civilians in the outer perimeter. Please advise.
The commander on the other end says,
Breaker, breaker. This is Kiwasabi 10-4. Hitting the old dirt trail.
That's what my arms look like on the drive to work.
There's a little girl. Pigs in the pen and we're hauling ass.
The Gamers Ups cups.
and then the
Gamers
soldier
Ups.
points his gun at Joel and Sarah. Don't do it.
Nothing personal, kid.
Hold on. When I, Frank, you just killed a kid. Where is it?
Is that water for us? Jesus Christ, Frank, you just killed a kid!
Hitting the old dirt trail.
Walk up, but just before the soldier is
There
able
we
to
go.
pull the trigger,
That made me feel
Tommy
better.
shows up. And he mows the soldier down with his gun.
Jesus.
But uh-oh,
Bang, bang, bang,
it
bang,
seems
bang.
as though Sarah might be wounded. No, Sarah, don't die. Do I really have to be the first to go? No, Sarah, you were supposed to be one of the last of us. This is what I get for selling hardcore drugs.
Remember, kids,
Written
drugs
by
are bad.
Neil
Drugs are
Druckmann.
bad. I almost accidentally said drugs are
Chapter
bastards.
2.
Oops, time to get a new one.
Now we open to 20 years later.
What's
and Joel is awoken
15
because he hears
years?
someone at the
I
door.
can always have another kid.
Wait a minute, he's in the Seinfeld apartment.
We could be.
Look at it. Look,
Yeah, actually,
there's the kitchen, and Elaine's about to come right through the front door. I'll tell you, Jerry, he just wasn't sponge-worthy. I stopped for some juji fruits.
well, actually, her name's
That was
Tess.
too early.
She enters the apartment and she asks how Joel's morning was.
How was your morning?
Good. I've been
My
thinking
morning
about
was
my dead
awesome.
daughter.
Want one?
I was also
No,
thinking about
no,
my
I
dead
don't.
daughter.
I'd rather drink Gamer
have a
Subs.
dead daughter.
Ad time. Welcome back to the Home
Ad
Shopping Network. We have an
time.
incredible
We're
new
gonna watch
product.
the ad
Gamer Subs is a
because
delicious
internet
powder that you put
historian
in
coming out of my video
water
and I
to
don't
make
feel
it
bad
drinkable.
about
You put the
supporting
powder
him.
in the water, shaker, 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 and you've got some
Or, I don't
delicious
feel weird
berry
about
blast, Sharon.
watching his ads.
Listen, they don't even need you to buy
Because
anything.
he's
They want to give away thousands of free samples.
What's the catch?
There
I'm
is no
going
catch.
to
So go to the
I'm
website,
gonna
put
use
in your
that
name
code.
and address,
I'm gonna use the
and that's
Gamer
it.
Subs
And they will
codes.
send you free
Actually, I'm gonna use
samples
the
of Gamer
historian
Subs.
code
You
to
can
get
use
the
a
cup.
fake name.
Get the
This
cup.
isn't even for
I'm gonna buy
market
the cup.
research. They just think they're going
I
to
need to
guilt
get
trip
paid,
you into
though.
actually buying a product instead of just getting free stuff, right?
paid
But you
rent,
don't need to
so
do that.
I
Just
have
get the free
$40
stuff.
in my bank
And you know
account.
what?
I don't want
They're
to
even going to
spend
throw in
half
a
of that
free
on the
sticker,
internet
which
historian
I
cup, so I'm
designed
just
very
waiting.
carefully. Who doesn't like being mailed a bunch
no.
of loose powder in an envelope?
NCIS.
35,000
I
reviews.
fucking love
They even got the
NCIS.
famous hacker Anonymous.
Gamer Subs comes in a wide variety of flavors.
Do they
there
have
are
Ludwig from
caffeinated
video
flavors.
games?
There are uncaffeinated flavors. Have we got the new fluoride flush flavor? Have they got the new polyvinyl chloride flavor? For some reason, that shipment's still in transit in Ohio.
That
You
clip
can
he did
consume as
from?
much as you want a day.
9 out of 10 doctors agree that the iced tea flavor is the best one. It's all the health
much
stuff you
caffeine?
need for your mind and
Oh,
body.
I was literally about to be like, how much caffeine is in Gamer? GG? I thought it was Gamer Subs. What is the GG? How much GG can you drink before? Question mark.
Do you have a body? Well, you need to put stuff in it.
I
It's
drink
got
an
a whole bunch
obscene
of
amount of
nootropic
caffeine.
vitamins, which are way better than the old tropic
Nootropics?
vitamins. It says sugar-free. That's so generous of them to give you the sugar for free. I tell you what, Sandra, this is
It's so
controversial, but I
generous of
like
them to
Gamer
give you
Subs.
the sugar
Anyway, that's
for
it. That's the whole ad. Go to the thing and get a bunch of bloody free samples.
It's
Why not?
free.
Ad over. Anyway, so Joel's talking to Elaine, and he's asking her, where have you been?
Elaine.
I've been in the West End district because, you know, we had a drop to make.
Hold on a minute. You got bruises and stuff on your face. Did something go wrong with
Our
the deal?
Robert?
Look, these bruises are swelling and gross.
I was on my way
Looks
back here
bruised.
and I got jumped by these two assholes, all right?
Who are these rough and tumble sorts?
They were a couple of nobodies. They don't matter. What matters is that Robert
Nobody's?
fucking
Like from
sent them.
Kingdom Hearts 2?
Our Robert.
I'm gonna kill him, and he's gonna be deader than my daughter.
Did you have
And
a
I know
keyblade?
where he's hiding. Yeah,
When you
let's
struck
do
them
it.
down
Let's
and
go on
turned
a
them
mission
back
to
to
avenge
dogs.
Tessa's face and kill Robert.
Well, we better hurry up then.
So Joel and Tess make their way to the quarantine zone, and they make it to a checkpoint, and they go, I think you'll find everything's in order.
All right, move on through. Thanks.
They are permitted through. But just as they are walking through, explosion! Oh my god, it's some sort of terrorist attack. So the gate's shut right in front of them, and the guards are screaming, and there's gunfire all over the place. It turns out what's happening is the fireflies are attacking them. You'll find out about them later. Joel and Tess quickly run away. They go into an apartment building, and in the apartment is a hole in the wall, which is a new passageway. So he hops into the hole. Then
Two
all of a sudden,
references
Elaine goes,
to
hold on
two
a minute,
different
Joel.
video
Look,
games.
the air is kind of spicy. There's spores
I
over there.
love
You gotta
this.
put your mask on. All right, you probably already know, but instead of standard zombies, they're doing a fungus thing. So there's these cordyceps, and cordyceps is a fungus, and so there are spores, and if you breathe them in, you turn into one of these zombies. If you get bitten by one of the zombies, you turn into a zombie as well. Anyway, so Joel is going through the spores when suddenly
Watch it. Stop me. My master broke.
Joel starts firing wildly at the man.
Bang, 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 bang.
Joel fights a bunch of the zombies. Now, they enter the quarantine zone. Tess and Joel march right through the area and they get to Robert's office.
Joel opens the door and Robert just opens fire immediately.
I'm gonna pause it right here. Have you guys watched the Last of Us show? I've heard that season 2 is a season of a show. I never finished season 1. I just have a big old crush on Pedro Pascal. Because who the fuck doesn't? He's the handsomest man I've ever seen.
Back in the fuck.
That's all I had to say.
Emma.
Go fuck yourself.
There's a running
Excuse
sequence, and it's a lot like Uncharted. He's closing doors
It is
behind
a
him, and
lot
you're
like
running, you're
Uncharted.
running, you're chasing, you have to
Oh, wait,
get
isn't it
over a
made by Naughty
wheelie bin,
Dog?
run through a old window, and at that point, there he is, trapped. So, they are interrogating Robert, and they're saying,
Who has our guns?
so Robert says,
It's the Fireflies. I owed the Fireflies.
What?
They're basically all dead. We can just go in there, finish them off.
What?
We get the guns. What do you say?
now obviously they are not very happy about this answer, so they give Robert an Indian burn, and also a wet willy.
Ew.
Robert says, please stop, but
That was
instead,
gross,
Elaine
my
shoots him
headphones.
in the head. Not sponge-worthy. So they're going, what the fuck do we do now? They sold the guns to the Fireflies. How are we supposed to get these guns back? I guess we could try to explain it to him. And Joel's like, they're not going to understand, Elaine. And then, as they're
not gonna
mid-argument,
get it.
a lady walks out from behind the alleyway. I've been listening for quite a while, even though I have been shot and I am losing a lot of blood just standing here.
I've just been watching you talk, even though I could be looking for medical
This
attention.
Queen Firefly, her name is Marlene, and she goes, where's Robert? I love Robert. You didn't do anything to him, did you?
Where's my
Especially not
boyfriend,
his good
Robert?
bowling arm. Oh my god, there he is.
No!
I was taking
She
a
is
drink when I
furious.
looked
She
at him
loved him.
break his arm.
I needed them
again.
alive for that bowling game next Friday.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something. He sold you a bunch
bowling
of guns,
tournament's ruined.
and they weren't yours. Give them back, please. And she says no, and Tess says yes. And then Marlene goes, how about this? You do a job for me, and I will give you the guns. And then Joel and Tess, are like, reluctantly, they look at each other. Yeah, okay, what is it? What's the job?
I need something smuggled out of the city. You do that, I'll give you your guns back.
I want to see those guns.
Follow me.
Okay, so we're following Marlene. Marlene leads us to the roof of a building, and she goes, over there, that's the headquarters of the Firefly. But just as we're about to make our way over, boom, explosion. That ain't good. The headquarters of the Fireflies has just been destroyed. What caused this? Well, as you saw earlier, the military had this area under their control, then the Fireflies did an explosion. So, the military went, where's Firefly's HQ? We're also going to do an explosion. Well, Marlene is there, and she is jumping, climbing things, moving big, heavy doors, even though she was just shot. And she
I think she's
opens the
faking it.
door, and she
She
falls
just doesn't want
down.
to spend more time with Ellie.
Suddenly, new character.
Fuck away from me!
Introducing Ellie.
I know that one. She's on the box art.
So this is Ellie, and she is one tough customer. Marlene starts negotiating. She says, look,
There's a crew of Fireflies that'll meet you at the Capitol building. You hand her off, come back, the weapons are yours.
We're smuggling her?
Joel and Tess, they're a bit reluctant about it, but they
No more.
eventually
I
they
don't want
agree.
another
But I tell you
daughter.
what, Joel
I
says,
just got
I
rid of
don't
the
like
last
this
one."
Ellie chick very much. She really gets on my nerves. I don't see us building any kind of relationship, especially not over the long term. So off we go with smuggling to get this kid out of the city. But we're going to have to do it in the cover of night,
The moment I wanna
when it's
open the
nice
window,
and
the
dark,
neighbor
right?
revs his
So we
loud
haul
as
up
fuck.
in an
That was the
apartment
moon
building.
from,
What's the night? When it's
was
nice
the
and
moon
dark,
from-
right?
Mighty Boosh. Hello. Hello. I'm the moon. I like doing moon things and being a moon. Have you guys ever seen the Mighty Boosh? Anyway. Back to the video.
But I tell you what, Joel says, I don't like this Ellie chick very much. Relationship is but we're going to have to do it in the cover of night, when it's nice and dark, right? So we haul up in an apartment building. Once he walks through the door of the apartment, he says to Ellie, I know you seem just like my dead daughter, but my heart won't melt, and we will definitely not be friends. Now Joel closes his eyes, and he falls asleep on the couch. Chapter 3.
You're infected with what? Ew! What the fuck?
Joel suddenly wakes up. Oh my god, what happened to the sun? He gets up, and there's Ellie, and she's looking out the window wistfully. She goes, you know, I've never been outside the city. in my many years, I don't know what it's like
gunshots
to be
and sirens
outside.
were my lullabies.
Then suddenly Newman walks in. All right, here's the update, says Elaine. I'm back from taking care of Marlene. She's
Conflict
fine.
and victory
She's
for
not
my
dead.
parents.
In fact, you know what? She's better than before she was even shot. That bullet actually dislodged another bullet that was already inside of her. Anyway, they go, right, time to smuggle that kid. So they leave the apartment and go down an elevator.
She said there's some fireflies that have traveled all the way from another city. Girl must be important.
So they get outside and they're sneaking through the street.
Disregard the
Joel
conversation
decides to
you
take a
made here.
shortcut through a truck. But once he
just
walks out the
strangers.
back door...
Bonk.
Now, these two soldiers, they saw him coming. They immediately apprehend the three and force them onto their knees. Elaine, Joel, and Ellie are basically at the soldiers' mercy, right? Tess tries to bribe the soldiers,
To make this worth your while.
but they're like, shit.
Whoa.
Did it.
They scan her for COVID.
Ah, looks good.
Then they scan Joel.
Yes,
C
you have
word.
also passed.
But then they go to
I'm
scan
gonna get
Ellie, and
demonetized
Ellie kind
because
of panics.
someone else said it in my video.
Joel jumps up and tackles the man, and then Tess turns around and she shoots the other guard in the head.
I hate those rapid antigen tests. I hate how it feels up my nose. Get it away from me.
She then walks over to the directional microphone. Oh my god. Infecto. They suddenly think, well, this is just a big setup then. Because why would we smuggle someone who's infected? Was she trying to get us killed? Yup, that's the thing that makes the most sense, right? Okay, let's kill that girl right now. But Ellie riposts.
I'm not infected.
Ellie shows the bite mark on her arm and goes,
It's 3 weeks old.
Joel and Marlene are not very convinced. But, you know, she more fervently keeps pointing at the mark on her arm. But then suddenly,
Look how
an
healed it
unscheduled
is.
Uber comes. Backup is on their way. We gotta get out of here, Joel. And so the three of them, as a team, they run
As
into
partners.
the night. They run underground into a
battlefield.
sewage system. Down there, it's very icky and gross, and they've got
War
turds all
never
in their
changes
shoes.
partners
But
on the
they ignore that for
battlefield.
now. Eventually, they get out to safety, and they
Mr.
stop
Gordon.
for a moment, and they go, Ellie, you really should have told us. Why did you surprise us with being infected? Well, look, because I am immune, they
The
thought they
Last
would be
of
able
Us.
to make a
War never
vaccine out
changes
of
The
me.
Last
And they would
of
put me in
Us.
a giant blender. And then they would
Half-Life
squirt a little bit
partners.
into everybody's open waiting
Battlefield.
mouths. And the whole world would be cured. Joel goes, yeah, we've heard that one before. I've been around for long enough to know that there is no cure. But Tess goes,
Ain't no
hold on a
stinking
minute, Joel.
cure.
Joel's like, I don't believe it. You can't believe it. I think I believe it. And Ellie walks past him and she's like, well, you should start believing it because it's true. The conversation ends there and they carry on. So they head into one of these empty buildings and they try to open one of the office doors, but it's locked. So Joel and Elaine both start pushing at it with all their strength.
He's never gonna call her Tess. He's never gonna call her
That
Tess.
is very loud, and it
For the entire
awakens
time that
a
she's
clicker.
alive, he's
Now,
never gonna
clicker
say
is a
Tess.
person who
He's
has
gonna
been
keep calling
infected
her
for a
Elaine.
very long time, and the cordyceps grow down all over their face. Now, because it
I
does
will
that, it
call
impairs
her-
their vision. So from then on, they see using echolocation. But you know, if that happened to
fuck,
me,
what'd she
I'll
call them,
pop over to my
thunderbolts?
local barber and I
like her
would
dead
go
Montaigne.
short back and sides, please, and then you put a flat cap on top. Bobbity boop. So Joel gets grabbed. Oh no! It's got to fight him off.
quick, Joel, press the square button.
And he does, just in time. Then Tess shows up, and she says,
Looks like the toadstool just got toad schooled.
Joel suddenly turns to Tess and goes, by the way, I don't know if you know this, Elaine, but ever since my daughter died, I've been distracting myself with the hobby of golf. So this caddy's going to be following us around for the rest of the game. Just pretend like he's not here. So we go
Well,
into an
did-
old
hold
museum,
on.
and there's a whole bunch of old stuff.
Why did the caddy come in like halfway through the video? Because this came out pretty close to The Last of Us Part 2, right? Is this one? Is like this is the time code where Internet Historian Live found out how Joel dies in The Last of Us Part 2. God dang it! I wish my neighbors weren't so loud and it wasn't so fucking hot in my goddamn room. Don't worry. If I can get a better mic at some point, I'll use Deafin. I'll figure out how to audio mix.
From the past.
But for now,
from the long,
will all
long
suffer
ago.
together.
Oh my god, it's 3
Find out
hitless.
the
They make
other
it outside and onto the roof. And there they find the best reoccurring character of them all.
Plank of
The
wood.
plank. So Joel's like,
Watch your step as you're going out, because it's going to be a little...
it would have been so funny if she fell off though. Now, they sleep for a while, and in the morning, they run up to the Capitol building. This is their destination.
Massachusetts
We
State
can
House.
hand over Ellie
Well, hold on.
and I'll
We went
never
there in
have to
Fallout
see
4.
that kid again. But
There's a
when
pie
they
in
open the
there.
door,
Guys, there's a
so
killer
what they
pie in
were
there.
expecting was a whole bunch of fireflies to go, surprise! Good job bringing Ellie.
Would
We
not
made a
believe
cake,
your
hooray!
eyes
But
when
instead of that
1,000,000
happening, everyone
fireflies.
dead. I'm going to go as far as to say the fireflies should not have bombed that place at the beginning, because now they're really reaping what they sowed. You know? Ellie asks a pertinent question.
What happens now?
Because this was their destination, now I don't know where the hell to go. Oh god, I really don't want to adopt Ellie. Where are we supposed to drop this girl off? Well, maybe she could join us on our travels. You gotta think of it in golf terms, Tess. You see, we're on the 9th hole. We're right next to the clubhouse. You want to go straight from here to a par 5. You're mad, Tess.
You're
And then Tess goes,
mad.
I'm tired
Wait,
of
he's
your
calling her
golfing
Tess again.
analogies, Joel. It's always about the golf, isn't it? And I tell you what, my golfing days are over,
This is
Joel.
Metal Gear Solid
What are you
music.
talking about? This is my
If you think
last
Internet Historian
round,
was going to
Joel.
use a different
Tess
dramatic
has been
music from a
bitten by
different
one of
video
the
game,
infected.
you were wrong.
She's the one who hides the bite from everyone. Oh my god.
If
How
it's
long
not-
have
if
you
it's not-
been like this?
The caddy
Metal
puts
Gear
away the
Solid
putter,
1.
like quietly in the background.
I can't remember which game that's
This
from.
was 3 weeks. I was bitten an hour ago, and it's already worse. This is fucking real, Joel.
Well, I don't believe it. Well, you should believe it. Listen, Joel, remember how you've got a brother?
You've got to get this girl to Tommy's.
She'll be safe there, at your brother's place. Go west. Go and find
Take her to
him.
Tommy
Save
Pickles.
the world. So, they're
That
currently
little
in
rugrat.
Boston. Tommy is all the way over in Wyoming, which means we have to get here to here, which is quite a long trip, to be honest.
That's
a
like
2,000-mile walk. Tess is looking
2,000
wistfully
miles
out
to
the window.
Graceland,
A whole
bro.
bunch of soldiers show up.
I can find.
No, just go! Just fucking go.
So Joel
Sad,
and Ellie, they
so
go off
sad.
together. And they're listening
So
to the
sad,
sound
so
of
sad.
gunfire between Tess and the soldiers. By the time we go to look at her again from the balcony, she is dead. So we sneak out the building and we go into the subway, but we're being chased. So they head off into the subway tunnel and it's full of spores. Now, Ellie, because she's immune, can just hang out in the spores, no problem, but Joel has to put on a mask. The guards enter the subway.
You know, she may be immune, but like, that,
Ellie
I doubt
says,
that's
can you help
comfortable
me
to
get
breathe
across
in.
the water?
I'm
Because
breathing in this moldy
Joel goes,
dust. Is
ugh,
like,
and he helps her
yummy.
across the water. That will be important later. Now, we get it out of that tunnel. Ellie tries to quite awkwardly broach the subject of the now dead Tess.
About Tess.
There's nothing you could see right now that would cheer me up, Ellie. There's only one thing that could make me feel better. Watch this swing.
Wow.
Chapter
Wait,
4.
hold on. Internet Historian probably didn't.
We must stop the terror. I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive.
Ellie tries to quite awkwardly.
Now watch this drive.
There's nothing you could see right now that would cheer me up, Ellie. There's only one thing that could make me feel better.
Now watch
Watch
this drive.
this swing. Chapter 4. Now, Joel changes the conversation from golf. He says, over there's a fella. He owes me some favors. He'll take us
owes
in.
me some
Maybe
money,
he'll adopt you.
Arthur.
Maybe you'll end up with a new dad. Wouldn't that be great, Ellie? So they wander up a path and find Lincoln. Now, Lincoln is also known as Billstown. So they've gone from here to here. They've walked a total of 5 hours.
2 more days
The
and
important
it's
thing about
June.
Billstown is that it's booby-trapped everywhere, so you have to be really careful when you walk around. Suddenly, we open one of the doors and we get trapped. So you're hanging upside down and you go to shoot all the zombies as they come at you. Ellie unhooks the chain, but oh no, you're being attacked by a zombie, and then suddenly, man cuts its head off with machete. That's Bill. Let's go this way, Joel, says Bill, and they run into a building, and they slam the door behind them. Ellie says, oh, that was a close one. Thanks so much, Bill. You got any gamer subs around here? I'm kind of thirsty. Wow, these are the most heterosexual flavors I have ever seen. For reference, there are gay flavors of gamer subs and there are straight flavors of gamer subs. If you're straight, you may drink lemon limeade. Sour apple, that is also acceptable. If you are gay, you must drink strawberry or watermelon ice. We don't make the
wait,
rules,
those
fellas.
flavors
So anyway,
sound
Ellie
really
reaches out her
fucking
hand. He goes, "Oh, so
good.
nice to
I
meet you,
guess
Bill.
I'm
My name's
gay."
Ellie." But Bill's like, fucking whatever, and he handcuffs her to a
now
pole.
I am
So
the
you
one
probably
that
know from the
am
HBO
gay.
show, you find out that Bill has a secret. He is gay. Now, they keep it extremely subtle. So I think we should also be equally subtle about it.
Hi, Joel. It's so wonderful to have you back in my house.
Joel is completely unsuspecting. He is. Oh, you know, we should watch the football later.
Oh, maybe. I hope they have the behind the scenes in the showers.
And Joel's like, you're right, that's always where they do the best
AI.
commentary. Oh, Bill, you're one of the manliest men I know. Bill kicks him in the knees, forcing him to the ground.
I'm just checking for bite marks. It's standard procedure.
Ah, I can see on the wall here, you've got a whole bunch of whips and paddles and handcuffs and such. Boy, Bill, you really are one tough interrogator.
You're the
Now,
straightest
while
man.
Bill is doing this,
Straightest
Ellie
man
suddenly
I've ever
breaks the pipe. Jesus, she's strong. And she starts swinging it at Bill. Ellie gets one hit on Bill before Joel grabs the pipe and stops her. So they're arguing and stuff, and they go, come on now, let's stop arguing. Here's the thing, I need a car. Get me one of them driving vehicles. And Bill says, I guess I have a car. All right, let's do it. Let's go on a road trip. No, you don't understand. It doesn't work. You see, all the batteries in cars are dead, and so you won't be able to start it. All right, where do I find a new battery? Well, I guess you can go hunting around the houses.
Well,
Perhaps we could do it together, as a team, as a trio. And Bill goes, you know what, kid? You're all right.
You know what?
Yes, Bill. You're so incredibly straight. Anyway, they go running through all the apartments. They go into a cellar. Bill's getting a shotgun out of an old locker.
How in the hell is Tess okay with this suicide mission?
Actually, her idea.
Really? Well, the broad's not as smart as I thought she was. But, fuck her.
Now, Joel doesn't tell Bill that Tess is dead. So we fight our way through till we get to the high school. Now, here we discover a new type of infected known as a bloater. This is essentially a person who has lots of nutrition and lots of spores, and they become just a big walking fungus.
Lots of nutrition has to be the fucking nicest way I've ever heard somebody being like, this guy, big back. Big back, big back. This person has lots of nutrition. Alternatively nourished. There it is. You're not a fat fucking piece of shit. You're alternatively nourished. We love all bodies here at BigDumDog Incorporated.
Single mass. They are extremely strong. Together, the trio are able to destroy it. And then they go running out of the high school, even though they don't have a note. And then they break into some abandoned house, right? Where was the battery? You said there was going to be a battery there. You may be heterosexual, Bill, but that doesn't mean you can lie about where batteries are. And then Bill's like, shut up a second. In the room, we see suddenly a hanging body.
Among
This
Us?
makes Bill quiet because he knows this person. And Joel...
Guys, Among Us? Sus.
was like, who's this? That was my
Partners.
They were gay lovers. And then Joel's like, how are you guys lovers? That doesn't make any sense. This is a dude.
How does that even work?
Joel just doesn't get it. He just doesn't understand.
What do you mean
Ellie,
you
in the
were
meanwhile,
lovers?
I'm going
How
to
do
go
you
find a car.
fucking do
So
it
she goes off
even?
and she finds a car, which
You
is
know
like
who
within
else
our own peripheral vision.
You know
She's
who
jumping in the
else
front
fucks
seat, honking the horn. Look what I found. I bet you get a lot of ladies in the backseat of this one, huh, Bill?
There's still some juice in it. Bill says to Ellie, hop out. You're not old enough to drive. I'm going to get in the driver's seat. But then, when he tries to start the car...
Battery's drained, but cells are alive.
How can you tell that by trying to start
we
it?
push it, get it started, and the alternator will recharge the battery.
So they open the garage door.
And they start pushing the car. And eventually they start the car properly.
And they go, oh, quick, we got to jump in the back. Hooray, we got it working. At this point, Bill decides, you know what, I'm going to go my own way. And Joel's like, that's typical Bill. You can't tie that man down. Bill goes, that's right, Joel.
Get the fuck out of my town.
So they part ways, and it's very emotional. Also, I just wanted to make things awkward. Tess is dead. Wow. Anyway, I just wanted to make you feel bad. Goodbye.
Hope you
So
feel
off they
fucking
go,
awful.
are driving. Ellie is supposed to be in the back seat sleeping. Joel is trying not to drift off to sleep as he is driving. And then she whips out a magazine.
It's got some interesting photos.
Ellie, that ain't for kids.
Whoa! How the hell would he even walk around with that thing?
Get rid of that.
Look, hold your horses. I want to see what all the fuss is about. Oh, why are these all stuck together?
Anyway, Ellie then jumps into the front seat and she turns up the muted music. And I tell you why, because it is extremely copyright. Ellie falls asleep. A lot of time has passed. We see that Joel and Ellie are approaching a literal fork in the road. There is an off-ramp to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Or keep going along the highway. What's the best route? You know what? Fuck it. It's time to take a break in the big pit. Now, Joel is getting a little suspicious. He thinks, we're kind of getting cornered in here. Maybe there's an ambush around the corner. Suddenly, man steps out into the road. The guy's like, oh, I need help. And Joel's like, put your seatbelt on. I'm going to run this guy in. Ellie's like, don't you think he needs help? Joel knows an ambush when he sees it, so he starts accelerating. The man who's pretending to be hurt suddenly opens fire. And then a bus comes out of fucking nowhere and T-bones their truck. They go sailing into the front door of a bodega. Cut to black.
No.
They wake up a few seconds later. Shit. What happened? They're both trying to get unbuckled, but then this dude shows up and he grabs Ellie and he pulls her out of the car. And then Joel is grabbed by another dude and he's taken over to a big piece of broken glass. No, Joel. Use your neck strength. Joel manages to pull a wicked sick 180 and he kills the dude with the same piece of glass. Ellie then bites this dude and then she gets struck in the face. Joel shows up and he smashes this guy into a boot. Don't touch my surrogate daughter. So they're trying to get all their stuff and they're trying to get out of there. They're being shot at. Oh my god. More action. Then they go into a big theater building. This dude shows up and he kicks Joel. Joel then falls into the water and the man jumps down into the water and he starts strangulating him. Now, Joel couldn't reach the gun to shoot the guy, but Ellie reached down and shot the guy. And she blasted him right in the head. This is the first time Ellie has killed a dude. Joel and Ellie start having a bit of an argument. Ellie is like, I'm old enough to shoot guns. And Joel is like, no kid, you're too young to shoot guns. And Ellie gets mad. So they carry on.
I hope there's no one up the ladder this time.
Yeah, this video's not too long. We're going to be playing The Last of Us after this video's over. We're just doing the reaction content. It's part of a series.
So Joel and Ellie make their way up to the top of the building and they can see a vast view of the area.
I'm gonna jump down there. I'm gonna clear us a path.
React to the video
What about
that
me?
he's doing an explained video
This is so stupid. We'd have more of a fucking chance if you let me help.
Last of Us 1.
And Joel finally relents. Here you go, kid. Have a
Last of
rifle.
Us 1.
There's a fight. And
I don't
Ellie
think
helps
he's
by being
put
a
out a
sniper.
video on
Joel
Last
is
of
using
Us
his
Part
Witcher
2
sense.
yet.
Joel, you gotta consume 4 potions and eat 3 chicken breasts.
Anyway, they kill them all.
He hasn't done
Now,
Last
they
of Us
take
Part 2,
cover
I don't
and they
think.
see civilians
We'll
being
be playing
gunned
Last of
down
Us Part
by
1.
hunters in a Humvee.
We just
The
did
hunters
a-
loot the corpses then and
we
then they
didn't wrap
dry
up our
off.
final-
Seems
our
as though there are
Fallout 4
alpha predators out
playthrough.
here in the city.
But
they must avoid the Humvee and
we
try
will
to escape
eventually.
the city now. And then eventually, Ellie and Joel climb
At some point
through
in
a
time.
window and into a building. But then
Behind Joel is a man, and he starts choking Joel out. Ellie goes to help Joel, but gets knocked back. Eventually, Joel gets the upper hand.
Joel, stop! Look.
The Last of Us.
Leave him alone.
The man on the ground says, man, you hit hard. And Joel goes,
I was trying to kill you.
I thought you were one of them. You know, one of those people in the Humvee. But then I saw that kid, and I'm like, they don't have kids. Anyway, my name's Henry, and the young boy who just appeared in the scene suddenly is Sam. Joel asks,
How many are with you?
They're all dead. Hey, we don't know that. They're all dead. Hey,
They're
we're a
all
bunch of
dead.
us. Someone had the brilliant idea of entering the city, look for supplies. Now it's all about getting out of this shithole.
well, let's help you get out of here then. You know, safety in numbers. Sam and Henry are like, yeah, but Joel's like, I don't know. We already have enough people in this group, Ellie, me, you, and the caddy. Henry says,
He'll
We gotta
come
hide
in.
out
He'll
not
be
too far
important
from
later.
here. Be safer if we chat there.
Alright, so the four of them are now a wonderful team. Along the way, they have to go to a toy store. And Sam picks up a toy, and Henry scolds her because...
What's the rule about taking stuff? It weighs like nothing. The rule. What is it? We only take what we have to.
He strikes Sam across the face. Sam says, okay, and puts the toy back down.
So the group make it back to Henry and Sam's hideout, which is in an old office space. Ellie asks Sam,
How long have you guys been holed up in here?
A few days. We found a bit of food, though. Here.
Blueberries. Found a whole stash of them. You want some?
Ah, no thanks, Henry. I never eat anything blue. Red only.
Joel says to Henry,
Henry, why haven't you left yet? Why are you just hanging around here in this old squalor?
Been waiting for the right opportunity. And? Check this out.
and they look out and they see the opening to the bridge that leads to the outside of town. And Henry says,
Every day they congregate down there, guarding that damn bridge. Come nighttime, it's down to a skeleton crew. After sunset, that's our window. Most of them gone, sneak right past them.
Henry then notices Ellie and Sam on the couch,
PS5,
and they're
'cause I don't
throwing
have
blueberries
Last of Us
into each other's mouths.
It's been a while since our boy even cracked a smile.
He's not allowed to smile, you know.
So where were you heading?
Also, I wouldn't be able to run it on my PC anyway because
Where
my
the
graphics
Fireflies are based.
Dog shit.
We're gonna join up with them. Something funny?
Oh, it just seems like there's a lot of people putting their stock on the Fireflies these days.
Yeah, maybe there's a reason for that.
So you don't know where they are, and you're just gonna drag him across the country to find them?
I tell you what, how about I worry about my brother, you worry about your girl.
Alright, well, listen, I'm also looking for the Fireflies, see?
Have a look at this. And Henry then pulls out a big map.
This is us. There's an abandoned military radio station just outside the city.
Abandoned?
You and your girl, you
Are
want
you
to join
sure?
us. It goes down tonight.
You got it, boss. We'll be there.
Yeah,
Toot sweet. They get some sleep, and we cut to a short time later. It is now nighttime, and Ellie wakes Joel up.
Joel, it's time to go.
So they begin to move out. So they head towards the bridge. They kill all the hunters and they make it past the checkpoint. But as they open these large metal doors, the Humvee pulls up. They quickly run through the door, through to the other side, barring it behind them as they go. But the Humvee is hot on their tail. Sam and Henry, they climb a truck.
Not to be American.
Then Joel lifts Ellie, but as he does, the ladder breaks off.
I think that's an ACP, not a... Holy shit!
Ellie's like, we gotta go grab him. And Henry's like,
I'm sorry. We're leaving.
What?
so Henry and Sam run off. But Ellie is loyal to the end, so she jumps back down.
Joel?
Suddenly, the Humvee bursts through the gate. Joel makes it underneath the
that's
roller
not a
door
Humvee,
just
that's
as the
an
Humvee opens fire. Whew, they made it. Joel and Ellie are now in an old bar. Now they take out the
There's my
Humvee and
mama.
they leave the bar, and once outside, they can see, the bridge. But the Humvee bursts through the second barrier.
Joel and Ellie then sprint as fast as they can towards the bridge, but the Humvee is hot on their tails, and they finally make it to the middle of the bridge. But it's been blown out. Oh no, they can't get across.
Joel, we have to jump. We can't do it, it's too much of a risk. There's no time,
You'll drown.
Joel. And then she does a wicked cool dive bomb.
Wahoo!
Joel runs after her. Kersploosh. So, they survive the fall, but they're being dragged by the river. They manage to find each other in the river.
No
Joel goes,
hug.
hold my hand, Ellie. Joel manages to grab Ellie, but then a big current sends them sailing into a big
Current
rock.
was my
Cut to
name
black.
on Rockstar Online for the
Chapter
longest
6.
time. Big Current. Abby shows up? Oh my god.
Joel wakes up on a beach, and Ellie and Sam are standing over him.
Joel, we did it, we're alive.
So Henry then walks over saying,
Mr. B giving the most desperate cries for Abby.
Joel
or
then
not
gets
Abby,
up,
Ellie's
he's powerful mad, and he pushes Henry to the ground, taking Henry's gun from his hand and pointing it at him. Ah, you left me to die out there, did ya?
If it was the other way around, would you have come back for us?
Joel throws his gun to the ground, and
No.
Henry gets back to his feet, and they have decided to continue on together as a reluctant team. Henry then says,
Listen, that radio tower is on the other side of this cliff. So, It's gonna be full of supplies. You're gonna be glad you didn't kill me, alright?
So they get to this,
Listen,
like,
this
emptied
radio
out
tower is
suburb,
full of
and
good
they're trying to navigate their way through to get to the radio tower. Now, along the way, there is a sniper who is perched at a house that is kind of right on a hill, and so they have to sneak past the sniper. Come on, caddy, don't just be standing around. No! The caddy has been shot. What a turn of events. Eventually, they sneak their way over to the house and they kill the sniper. But uh-oh, Joel, now it's time for you to become the sniper because that Humvee is back.
How
and this
the
time it's
fuck did it
driving
get
through
here?
the suburbs.
Is the Humvee the main antagonist of this game?
For a while, yeah. And oh my god, it looks like they're going to get grabbed by the zombies, but Joel shoots most of Oh, no, and eventually, Joel
Oh my
takes
god, I've been
down
wrong this
the
whole
Humvee.
time. It is an armored Humvee with a gun on the top.
Now that sends all the zombies running. So they go to the backyard, they leave out a hole in the fence, and off they go. Yo, is that the plank again? And you can see the radio tower just in the distance. They set up camp at the top of the radio tower, and they're having a bit of downtime, bit of R&R. So Ellie comes in and has a chat with Sam. Sam starts asking questions about being a zombie. Kind of suspicious. Anyway, Ellie gives Sam the toy from the toy store to try and cheer him up. Come on, Sam, look at this thing. But Sam is not in a mood to play with transmogrifiers because
Transmogrifiers.
he has secretly been bitten by the zombie. Ellie doesn't see it. Yes, it is my secret, says Sam.
This is my cross
and
to bear.
everyone goes to sleep. We cut to the next morning. Ellie is sleeping very comfortably on the floor. There is Henry.
Blueberries.
He is stirring a pot of delicious
Blueberry soup.
cooked canned peaches with a few blueberries sprinkled on the top. So Henry's like, I let Sam sleep in. Why don't you go fetch him, Ellie? Go on. So off Ellie goes. She opens the door and uh-oh, Sam's just kind of standing there. Sam then tackles Ellie into the other room and she's screaming for help. Oh, Joel, help me. Joel quickly runs to grab the gun from his backpack, but Henry's like, I don't think so, Tim.
That's my fucking brother! That's my fucking brother! Screw it!
Henry then shoots Sam, and then he fires the gun again, but this time, he's in front. This is terrible timing, Sandra. They just released the new blueberry flavor of Gamer Subs.
Wait,
Henry
is the
loves
new blueberry
blueberries.
flavor? Is the new blueberry flavor gay or
In
straight?
keeping with the tone, let's lighten the mood with a little emotional damage.
Emotional
Or perhaps
damage!
dragon fruit punch.
Are these
And
ones gay or
thus
straight? I
ends
need to know.
the
Internet
small
historian,
through
come in
line
the chat.
of
Tell me
Sam
if these
and
flavors are gay or
cut
straight. I need to know for Pride
black.
Month.
Chapter 7.
Return? The caddy's back?
The word fall comes onto the screen. That is very ominous. Uh-oh. So, the scene opens to a forest, and Joel and Ellie are walking into frame. Ellie reads a nearby sign. It says Jackson County. So, Joel says, should only be a few more miles. And the caddy's back. There's a new one. He says,
It's a different
that's
guy.
great, Joel. Boy, my leg's tired. Now, Ellie asks, we're going to go see Tommy. Aren't you excited? Look, a hydroelectric power station. So, they cross the river and they head towards that facility. Now, as they try to open the gate, people pop up on the watchtowers on the other side.
Meme opportunity.
We must stop the terror.
Oh. Not watch this drive again.
Says, should only be a few more miles. Power try to open the gate. People pop up on the watchtowers on the other side and they've got guns. A woman then says, Joel, don't even think about reaching for your
Joel.
gun. And also, Ellie, put down yours. Come on,
How do
Ellie,
you
we gotta
know
do
our
what I say.
names?
So they both put their guns away and the lady says,
Are you guys lost or something?
well, we actually didn't know
A
this
little
place
bit,
was
yeah.
occupied. We were just gonna make our way through.
Then, suddenly, a male voice says, They're alright.
You
It's
know
the
these
king!
Yeah, I know him.
Suddenly, the gate opens and it reveals a man. And what a man! It is
My goddamn brother, Tommy.
Tommy and
Another meme opportunity because I've seen this.
he says,
Are you guys lost or something? Which
Seems
says
quite
their
gate
different.
opens and it reveals a
Where's
man.
the snow?
And what a man.
Where's
It
the cabin?
is.
My goddamn brother, Tommy.
I haven't even
Tommy
watched the
and
show.
Joel begin hugging, and maybe more.
You get fucking old.
Well, it's not my fault. Time passed and my daughter died.
Terrible snake. Age
You still
hasn't
talking like that?
done you any favors.
I'll never give it up. Look, this is Maria. She runs all sorts of stuff around here.
Also,
Maria.
you're my brother-in-law.
What? So Tommy got married to Maria. Anyway, Maria asks Ellie.
Oh, what brings you through here?
I was eating blueberries and I got lost. I wasn't looking at the road.
I
So
was
Tommy
eating
and Maria
blueberries
then
and I
invite
got
Ellie and
lost.
Joel in for some food. The adults continue talking. And as they're walking around, Maria gets radioed. And the radio says,
We're about to start the plant back up. Do you want to come check it out?
Tommy goes, I'll go. So he goes running off. Tommy, I'll go with you. Ellie, you stay with Maria. Off Joel and Tommy go down to the turbine. And on the way, Tommy says,
I have something for you, Joel. I went back all the way to Texas. Most of our stuff was long gone, but here. And then Tommy hands Joel a photo of him and Sarah.
I don't want to look at this, see? And he browses it for a minute. This doesn't look real.
This
Is it
is
a deep fake?
way
I don't want
better.
this photo. Get it away from me. I hate you.
Well, I'm gonna
Get
hold
away
on
from
to
me,
it
I hate
for you
you.
then.
Tommy, I need to talk to you privately.
Sure. Let me just go check on my guys real quick.
So they go over to the turbine room, and the workers actually manage to get the whole thing going. Joel and Tommy then go into Tommy's office. And Tommy goes,
Joel, why'd you leave Boston?
well,
The
I've been there
caddy's
for
out
quite
there.
a while, little brother. I've had quite the adventure, but it's time to move on.
I reckon you,
You
left
thought I wouldn't notice
because
the
of
top of your
something
head?
to do
I
with
did,
that
I
girl
see you.
that's with you.
I'll tell you, Tommy, you're right. It's got everything to do with that young girl. You see, she's a mutant. Dun, dun, dun.
Immune? Come on. What are you talking about?
I know. I've seen her breathe enough spores
Immunity?
to take down a
I
dozen
hardly
men.
know her.
And nothing. I wouldn't have believed it neither, but I can show you.
Why bring her here then?
Well, I'm supposed to deliver her to the Fireflies, see? Has the caddy been here the whole time?
Get out of here.
Here's the
Get
deal,
outta
Timmy.
here.
You take this girl, I go off solo, and you hand her into the Fireflies. You can
He
keep all
said
the
while
reward
gritting
money.
his teeth.
I haven't seen a firefly in years.
Uh-oh. But you know where they are, don't you?
What makes you think we'd be willing to take on a responsibility that big? We don't owe you anything.
Don't do it for me. Do it for my dead daughter. You know, this one. I can't remember her name.
I am reluctant. I will not help.
Oh, go on,
I am
please.
reluctant.
No.
I will
I've settled
not
down now, and this idea is way too risky. I don't like it.
Oh, for God's sake, have some of your friends do it then. Just take the damn girl off my hands, will you?
They have families
I don't wanna
too,
hang out
Joel.
with her
Joel
anymore.
pushes Tommy into a wall and he says, for God's sake, Tommy, I got the bloody cure to mankind and you're not going to help me. We're going to have some sibling rivalry. Is that really what we're going to do?
We're not back in Boston, Joel. You lay your hands
This
on
is
me
how I
again,
talk to my
and it won't
brother.
end well for you.
Suddenly, a noise behind them.
Wait, we're under attack.
Anyway, Tommy go and kill all the attackers. It doesn't matter. About like an hour later, right?
Doesn't
Ellie
matter, doesn't it?
overheard some of this conversation.
Internet historian does this thing a lot, where he'll be like, this doesn't matter. And then he'll ask questions like, who's Curie from Fallout 4? Blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. Not important. Anyway, main plot.
She's like, you don't want me
He's got a
anymore?
point.
Fine,
It
I'm
doesn't really
running
matter.
away. And Tommy's like, she went that way. Come on, let's go get her. So they ride their horses over to a house. Ah, Ellie, I was just joking about abandoning you. Ha 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 ha. It's a funny joke, right,
just
Tommy?
kidding.
They say some very
Why do you take
emotional
everything so
stuff.
seriously?
What?
All I said was I never
What
want
are
to
you talking
fucking
about,
see you
Sarah?
ever again, and I
Ellie.
goddamn hate you.
You are treading on some mighty thin ice here.
Everyone I have cared for has either died or left me.
Everyone except
except for you.
Everyone except for you, Joel. Why don't you
Don't
love
tell me that I would be safer with someone else, because the truth is I would just be more scared.
Then Tommy bursts into the room. Get it together, dummies. We aren't alone.
under attack.
And Tommy and
Fucking
Joel
again.
and Ellie and the caddy and also Sam's back for some reason. And they're loading their guns and they're ready for the fight of their lives.
Then the Humvee bursts in and the machine gun starts spraying.
The bandits show up, they kill all the bandits, and then they ride
And then
back
everyone
to camp. Tommy
dies.
is basically ready to take Ellie off Joel's hands, and he's like, there'll be kids watching movies and stuff tonight. We got Shrek 2. You're gonna
We've
love
got
it.
Shrek 2
Joel
on DVD.
changes his mind.
Not sure
He's had a
one,
bunch of thinking to do.
that
He's
was on
had some
VHS.
time to
We don't have a
ruminate, and so
VCR.
he has decided, you know what, this Ellie kid, she's all right. Come on, Slick, we're a team. Ellie turns to him, you really mean it? And he goes, I do. He hands her a gun. I've already got one of these. He just keeps handing her guns. I trust you, kid.
I can't hold these anymore, Joel.
It is now established
Fortnite rocket
that
launcher.
they're going to be setting off on their own
Thought we
trail.
wouldn't
It'll
notice
be
it, but
great.
we did.
Cut to black. Chapter 8.
The mitochondria. The only thing I remember from high school.
Some time passes, and Joel and Ellie have traveled from here to here. We are now at the gates of the Eastern University of Colorado. And Joel and Ellie make their way through the science building. Now, this place is really interesting because as they wander around, they pick up a bunch of tapes. And on the tapes, they talk about research that's being done with this virus/fungus thing. But that's all coming later. Now, Ellie says, hey, by the way, Joel, when I was a kid, I used to want to be an astronaut. You know, in the before times. But Joel, what did you want to be?
Well, when I was a kid, I used to want to be,
country singer.
Barbershop quartet.
Oh, Your Majesty, give us a quick ditty, would you?
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my fungus gal.
So they run around the campus for a while, running into infected, until they find a science building. They make their way inside the building. Now, they thought the Fireflies would be here and doing active research on a vaccine. However, the place is completely abandoned. Uh-oh, that's not generally a good sign. So, in one of the offices, they find a corpse, and it has a tape recorder on it. It says,
You're looking for the Fireflies. They've all left.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm dead. Or I will be soon. Got me some time to reflect.
Is that Steve Bloom?
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got
Lotion on my shit. I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my shit.
Salt Lake City. You'll find him there.
Now, Ellie asks if Joel knows where that is. I know the city, and it isn't very close by.
Anyway, Joel and Ellie then look out a window and they see a torch shining in. Joel says to Ellie, get down, just as a shot pierces through the glass.
Guys, torch is foreigner for flashlight. Just in case you didn't know. Torch is foreigner for flashlight.
Joel and Ellie begin escaping the attackers and all sorts of stuff. But just as Joel is coming through a door and goes to open it, a man kicks it
Calc
open,
is short for
surprising
calculator,
Joel, and
chat.
then he pushes him against
Slang.
a balcony rail.
Joel fights the man, eventually getting free and then punching the man in the face.
And the railing breaks, and Joel falls onto a big
I got lotion on my calc. I'm
rebar
stroking my
sticking
calc.
out of the ground.
Ellie rushes down and helps to pull Joel off of the rebar.
Ellie and Joel
actually
try
bad.
to retreat,
That's a bad
hobbling
idea.
towards
He's
their
gonna bleed
horses.
out.
But Joel is not in very good shape. He collapses in front of the building.
So here's some good medical advice. If you're ever stabbed through and through, like if you're perforated, you've got something stuck in you, don't pull it out. Don't pull it out. If you can, put a tourniquet above where it is, and then immediately go to the hospital. Don't pull things out of you. Have doctors do it, because you're gonna hurt something important on the inside. Never pull out. Medical advice. Never pull out. Stay prayed up.
Forcing Ellie to kill the remaining attackers on her own.
Joel and Ellie manage to get away, and they're trying to find a place to lay low. And Ellie's like, I think we're safe now. I think we got away. But Joel's like, I don't feel so good, kid. Cut to black. Winter. Chapter 9.
Joel has a hole. There's a hole in my Joel.
Some
There's
time
a hole.
passes, and
There's
we
a
are
hole.
now in a
There's a hole
snowy
in the Joel
forest.
and
We
hole.
see a rabbit coming
It's
out
the
of a
cutest
rabbit
thing I've ever
warren.
fucking seen.
Oh, look. It is immediately struck in the neck by an arrow. Ellie walks over to it, and the caddies in the background go, oh, excellent shot, madam. Ellie then attaches it to the horse.
Jolly
Tim
good
Allen
shot,
grunts.
madam.
Look, there's a deer nearby.
Ellie then leaves the horse to pursue the
I
deer
pride myself
on
on being
foot.
able to
Ellie
make that
shoots the
noise
deer,
well.
and then she chases it, and then she shoots it again, but then she has to chase it again, and then she shoots it again, and it's now dead.
Now, Ellie is inspecting her kill when suddenly some rustling from the bushes.
Ellie turns around, bow drawn, and says, "Come out of there."
Suddenly, two men show up from behind a tree.
We just want to talk.
Ellie says, no sudden move or I'll kill you.
Listen, my name is David, and this here's my friend James.
David then says, we're actually from a larger group. We got lots of women and children, and they're all very, very hungry.
Well, I'm also women and children, and I'm very hungry too.
Maybe we could trade you for some of that meat there. What do you need? Weapons, ammo, clothes?
Medicine. Any antibiotics?
Back at the camp.
Come on, kid, let's go. We got a puppy, we got candy. Come on, jump in the van, kid.
I'm not following you anywhere. Buddy boy can go get it. He comes back with what I need. The deer is all yours.
But if anyone else shows up, I'll kill you. David then turns to his friend. He says, all right, and he goes off to grab it. Ellie then takes David's rifle, and David says,
probably gonna be a while. Mind if we take some shelter from the cold?
okay, but bring him with us. Pointing to the deer, right? David picks up the deer and he starts tracking. We then cut to a little while later and we are at a campfire. Ellie and David have set up this campfire in an abandoned sawmill. David says to Ellie,
you know, you really shouldn't be out here all on your own.
I don't like company.
I see. What's your name?
But Ellie does not give it.
Suddenly,
I don't
click,
answer
click, click, click.
questions.
Oh my god, it's the zombies. They're back. And then David pulls out his gun and he starts shooting it. And Ellie's like, what the fuck? You had another gun? Yeah, sorry, I should have told you about that. But see, I wasn't going to kill you after all. I could have killed you so easily.
Can I have my rifle back now?
No.
Then a big horde of zombies comes along and they fight them off together as a team. You know what? This David guy doesn't seem so bad. They successfully fight off the zombies.
I don't know about that.
You handled yourself pretty good back there, kid. I'd say we make a pretty good team.
We got lucky, that's all.
There's no such thing as luck. I believe everything happens for a reason.
A few weeks back, I sent a group of men out nearby town to look for food. Only a few came back. They said that the others had been slaughtered by a crazy man. And get this, he's a crazy man traveling with a little girl.
Uh-oh. They kind of talk vaguely here, but what he's saying is that we know who you are. You killed some of our men, and we're basically here.
We're gonna eat you.
Or at least to kill that man you were with. Ellie starts getting up, and she grabs the rifle, aiming it at David's head.
Don't get upset.
The camera then pans, and we can see James is back. David says, lower the gun. James says, no way, David, I'm not gonna let her go. Come on, lower the gun. James then lowers his gun. And David says,
now give her the medicine.
James throws the medicine at her.
Ellie then grabs the medicine and heads back up towards the door.
Won't survive long out there. I can't protect you.
Oh, thanks.
And Ellie leaves.
She runs back to her horse and then returns to the hideout, but she doesn't know that she is being tracked. So Ellie makes it back to the house, and
She
it's
wouldn't
actually
have been
a
tracked
big
so hard if
lakeside
she
resort.
had
Ellie races up to Joel, and he's
NordVPN
there in a basement
or
under a blanket. He's still
ExpressVPN or
very
whichever
weak.
one
I have
is still
just the thing
sponsoring.
for you, Joel. Here. Joel drinks the gamer stuff. Ellie, you did get the free samples, right? You didn't pay for them, right? You just got the free samples?
Joel, I wanted to buy more because they were so generous.
Oh, Ellie, that's how they get ya. Ellie
how they
pulls away
get
the blanket
you.
to reveal stitching where he was stabbed with that rebar, right? And she gives him some penicillin, and then she puts the blanket back over him. Then she lays down beside him and goes to sleep. Chapter 10.
Ellie dies.
When Ellie wakes up in the morning, she can hear something outside. So she hops up and she checks the window and she can see that David's men are outside searching the resort. Ellie leans down next to Joel and says,
Joel, I'm gonna lead them
Now
away
be
from
a
here. I'll be
great
back for
time
you,
for you to
Joel.
wake
Go get him,
up.
Ellie. Ellie then leaves the house and
Him and
hops
Joel.
on
He's
the
sleeping
horse.
next to Joel
Now
to
Ellie
keep
is
him
watching a
warm.
group of men, but she doesn't
This
see,
coat,
oh no,
coat.
on her left, there's another man right there, and he grabs her. Now she quickly turns around, she
Enemy
stabs
spotted.
him in the
Requesting
throat.
backup.
And she kills him. So all the men are now alert as she sprints away on horseback. She's riding the horse, she's riding. It's like, oh, my legs are so tired. And Ellie's like, come on, you can do it, keep going.
We need all your horsepower.
But then, she has fallen off the horse, and she lands heavily on some snow.
Fucking horse.
But she's not done yet. She quickly scrambles to her feet. Ellie then quietly sneaks around. She's picking off the men one by one.
As she's about to leave the area, David comes up behind her, starts strangling her, and knocks
Ellie.
her out.
We cut to black. Chapter 11.
Okay, seriously, this time she dies. Seriously.
Ellie suddenly wakes up. Despite all of her rage, she is inside of a cage. There's a man in front of her, chopping up body parts on a workbench. And it is not very sanitary. The man turns and sees that Ellie is awake. Ah, I'd better go get David. David comes into the room, right, and he's like, how you doing, Ellie? I'm evil. Then David slides some risotto underneath the cage door.
I know you're hungry.
What is it?
It's deer.
Is it though? Says Ellie. She's just eating it.
Awfully quick to judgment, considering you and your friend killed how many men?
They didn't give us a choice.
You kill to survive, and so do we.
So now what? You gonna chop me up into tiny pieces?
I'd rather not, says David, emphatically. Please, tell me your name.
Ellie then shoves a plate of food back at David and says,
The rice-to-sauce ratio is bad. How rude. You know, Ellie, you should agree to join us. It's perhaps the one way that you can stay alive.
It's the only way I'm going to be able to convince the others that you can come around. You have heart. You're loyal. And you're special.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, man, what the fuck?
And then she breaks one of his fingers. She grabs the keys on his belt. David grabs Ellie's arm and he pulls her and smashes her into the cell a whole bunch of times. Very violent. Ellie drops the keys and David picks them back up. You are very dumb.
What am I supposed to tell the others now?
I'm going to kill you, and we're going to cut you up into tiny pieces. See you in the morning, Ellie. David leaves. We cut back to Joel. Joel wakes up. He crawls out of bed and he's like, Ellie, where are you, Ellie? You are my daughter now, Ellie. I can't even remember the first daughter's name. Joel then grabs his backpack and he moves out. He goes, you know what? I'm feeling a lot better now. Joel then goes outside and David's men are still there and they start attacking him. Look out, says the caddy. Another man suddenly comes around the corner with a knife, ready to kill Joel. Joel turns around and fly kicks the man. Joel then smashes the man into a wall that knocks him out. Joel drags the two men back to the hideout. And he then ties one to a chair. Is the girl alive?
Girl? I don't know no girl.
And so Joel stabs him in the leg.
I remember now.
Ooh, that made my knee hurt real bad.
Ah, where is he?
In the town.
Joel then takes the bloody knife from the man's leg and puts the hilt of it in his mouth. And he says,
You're gonna mark it on the map.
He does. He then smushes the man's head with a pipe. We cut back to Ellie, and Ellie is sleeping. Oh! But then suddenly David shows up. He and another man come in and grab her. They carry her over to a table, and David raises the knife, and he's about to kill Ellie. But then she goes, there's a reason you don't want to kill me and eat me. I'm infected. And then she rolls up her sleeve. Also, she just bit him. Anyway, they're both going, oh my God, what does that mean? Uh-oh. And then Ellie goes, time to attack.
Ellie grabs the knife and swings it at James. Ellie runs out of the room. David starts shooting at her. Once outside the room, Ellie finds her own knife, and then she jumps out a nearby window. Ellie then begins searching for a gun and a way out of this town.
But David is back, and he grabs her, and then he throws her back into the restaurant. So now it is a cat and mouse game. Ellie is hiding around the restaurant, she's sneaking around and stuff, and David is on the hunt. David locks the door, and he's searching for Ellie. Ellie's running around, she's sneaking up on David, she's stabbing him and stuff, and she does this a few times. And then they both fall back unconscious. Now, we cut back to Joel, and he is entering the town.
We gotta get her, Joel. You gotta fight for her. It's just like that time with your other daughter, remember? You can't let this one die.
Joel's like, alright, well, it's time to go through the town and kill all the men then. And he does. That's the old restaurant. I bet they're having a boss fight in there. And it's like well on fire. Everything's real bad. We cut back to Ellie. Now she has just regained consciousness. And David is still unconscious. Oh, thank God. Ellie's got the upper hand.
Ellie sees David's machete on the ground and goes, I need to crawl towards it. But suddenly, just as she's about to grab the machete, Ellie's kicked in the ribs. David woke up as well.
You know, it's okay to give up. Ain't no shame in it.
Ellie continues to crawl towards the machete because my name's Ellie, and that kind of rhymes with machete.
Good enough, says Joel
Good
from
enough.
outside the window with his face pressed against the glass.
Ellie,
and then he kicks her in the ribs again. David then gets on top of Ellie, pinning her down, and he is starting to strangulate her. She grabs the machete. Ellie then rolls over, and she starts slashing at David, smashing him with the machete many times. Joel grabs her from behind. It's me, your dad.
Joel?
They then hold each other, and it's very sweet.
Oh, baby girl. It's okay.
We can get you a new machete. They then leave the restaurant together. Let's get out of here, Ellie. I saw a different Denny's on the way here, and it seemed much nicer. Chapter 12.
There's a local Denny's by a hotel that I always go to.
Now, spring.
So
Ellie is looking
nice.
at the
It's right
relief
by a
of a
hotel.
deer on the concrete
So it's
wall.
super busy
Joel calls
all the
to Ellie.
time.
Did you
If
hear
you go
me?
there on a Sunday, it's
No.
perfect.
Hospital. This is where we get off.
Hospital.
Alol and Joel
Hospital.
head into Salt Lake City towards
Alol
the
and
hospital.
Joel.
We're looking around, we're going through buildings, we're
Joel
solving some
and
puzzles and
Alol
stuff. Look at this,
and
Alol.
Tom
And then
Tom.
there's a giraffe.
A Griffey.
Then it wanders off. Joel then leans on a railing next to Ellie and he says,
Is it everything you ever hoped for, kid?
It's got its ups and downs. You can't deny the view, though.
At this point, it feels like, oh, this might be the end
love
of
a
the
good
story
giraffe.
wrapping up. But it is not. So, just as Joel is about to open the door, he says to Ellie,
We don't have to do this.
After all we've been through, it can't be for nothing.
all right, kid, let's go. And so they go through the door together. Now, they're carrying on, and Ellie hands Joel a photo of him and Sarah. Joel looks at the photo, and this time he can stand to look at it. So the implication is that he's managed to get over the grief. Hooray! Now, they carry on, and there's a whole bunch of infected, and they fight those. Finally, they get to a sort of waterway, right? And they're trying to cross the waterway. And Ellie's like, hey, you know, when this is all over, you can teach me how to swim.
I'm not gonna.
Now, just about to finish the water level, when all of a sudden, the bus comes free and it starts going down the waterway. Ellie makes it to the other side, but Joel falls backwards into the bus, and he's grabbing onto the railing, but they're getting thrown around and stuff, and then the bus hits some debris. Now, the force of this sends Ellie and Joel hurtling through the river, and Joel is quick to regain his composure, and he swims over.
Yes,
oh my
I know
God,
what this
Ellie,
song is from
no!
Crash Bandicoot.
She's unconscious. So he drags her out of the water, and he puts her on the ground, but then a man in an army uniform sees this and says, don't do it, Joel. Stop squashing
Stop
that
saving her
girl. And he's
life.
going, it's CPR. I'm saving her life.
I don't care if you listen to public radio, Joel.
And then he hits Joel with the back of his gun. It cuts to black. We don't know what the fate of Ellie is. Maybe she just fucking drowned.
What about the caddy?
He did drown.
Oh no.
I know. Sorry, fellas. I'll always remember him.
No, not another caddy.
Chapter 13.
He was my favorite character.
Joel awakens in the hospital. He's like, uh-oh, what happened to Ellie? Guess who is there?
Who?
Marlene!
Welcome to the Fireflies. Sorry about the, concussion. They didn't know who you were.
Why doesn't this saline drip have at least some Misfits melon in it or something?
We gave you the non-caffeine version, Joel. The caffeine's got you all crazy.
That's not true,
That's
says
not
Joel
true.
as he begins opening fire. Ah, where's Ellie? I gotta save my new daughter.
She's all right. They brought her back.
Take me to her.
You don't have to worry about her anymore.
No, I'd like to see her, please.
You can't see her. Ellie's being prepped for surgery.
What the hell do you mean, surgery?
The cordyceps,
What
the
is
growth inside her, has somehow mutated. It's why she's immune. Once they remove it, they'll be able to reverse engineer a vaccine.
But it grows all over the brain.
It does grow all over the
Yes,
brain, so...
it does.
Oh my God.
Joel suddenly
My
realizes that they're
baby
going to kill her on the operating table.
Oh my God.
Find someone else.
There is no one else.
A guard kicks Joel in the back of the knees.
Stop, Joel.
There is no other choice here.
Joel crosses his arms and he's like, yeah, whatever. Shut up, Marlene.
March him out of here. He tries anything, shoot him.
The soldier then aims his gun at Joel and he marches him out of the room. Now, while he's being marched out of the room, he can see his backpack. Now, at this point, he then backs up real fast and he turns the table on the guard. He then points his gun at the guard and he goes, tell me where the operating room is. And the guy's like, oh, top floor, the far end, just don't shoot me. Joel then shoots him and takes his backpack. Now it's time for Joel to go on a warpath to end all warpaths and make it to the operating room before they take out Ellie's brain and start doing experiments on it. They'll probably put some athlete's foot cream, antifungal, right there on the brain, or, do that thing with the baking soda and the vinegar and just turn her head into a volcano.
I do that on my
He makes it to the
comics
operating
get
room.
them clean, and I don't think it's
Have
the
I made it
correct
just in
idea.
time? Yes, says the surgeon. Amazing timing.
Don't come any closer.
Ah, but I am coming closer.
Think of all the lives we'll save.
I'm going to save
I'm
one
thinking
life,
about all the lives
though.
I'm
Joel
going
then
to
shoots the man
end.
in the head.
Joel then picks up Ellie and he runs out of the hospital and into the elevator.
Down, please. He presses the button. They get into the parking lot.
But Marlene is there waiting. Marlene points her gun at Joel and says,
You can't save her. Even if you get her out of here, then what? How long before she's torn to pieces by a pack of clickers? That is, if she hasn't been raped and murdered first.
That ain't for you to decide, Marlene.
Marlene says,
It's what she'd want. You know it.
Marlene lowers her gun, and she goes,
You can still do the right thing here.
The game then cuts. Joel is driving in a car down the road, and it's a little bit of a fake out, because all of a sudden, Ellie wakes up in the backseat.
Why aren't I in the hospital, Joel? What am I wearing? Joel!
Just take it easy.
Joel!
Drugs are still with you.
Joel, what the heck?
What happened?
Then we go to a flashback, and we see that scene that cut earlier. There's Marlene walking towards Joel, as if she's about to take Ellie, and then it cuts back to the car again. Joel goes, well, Ellie, it turns out there are a lot more people like you. People that are immune, that is. It wouldn't have done any good to remove your brain and throw it around the room like an old jelly football. Now that, fellas, is a big lie. She's the only instance of an immune person that's ever been found. Now we cut back to the flashback again, and we see Joel with the automatic gun shooting Marlene. Then we go back to the car again.
Actually, kid, they've stopped searching for a cure altogether.
Really?
That's right, kid. And you know what? I'm taking us home. Home to Tommy.
Okay.
We then cut back to the flashback again, and it shows that Joel has shot Marlene, and Joel then puts Ellie in the back of the car, and then he walks back over to Marlene, crawling through a half-mixed solution of black cherry caffeine-free. And she goes,
Wait, please let me live, please.
And Joel goes,
You just come after her.
Final chapter.
More like happily never after. Am I right, fellas?
So now, they're on the side of the road. Ellie is looking at her bite mark. Joel is shutting the bonnet to the car, and he walks over.
Looks like we're walking.
They round the corner, and they can see that Tommy's camp is in the distance.
We're about to live happily ever after. Ellie, do you have anything to say?
Ellie goes,
Back in Boston, back when I was bitten, I wasn't alone. My best friend was there, and she got bit too. Her name was Riley, and she was the first to die. And then it was Tess, and then Sam. And then it was Tess, and then Riley, and then Sam.
Oh yeah, Tess and Sam. But listen, kid, none of that was any of your fault. You didn't do it.
You don't understand.
Ellie has like a tear in her eye, and she's like,
Swear to me that everything that you've said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Someone's going crazy on the banjo back there. Goddamn. Goddamn. Directed by
and
Neil
that
Druckmann.
is the end of the game. Question mark? That is one of the best story-told games that there is. It is very well done and paced. You gotta give it up for
Neil Druckmann.
Yup, you know what? He had that first game right. Now everything in number 2 sucks. Why is it called The Last of Us?
Yeah, it's plenty of people.
Why not like Joel and Ellie, Redemption,
Fungus Wars,
The Mushropocalypse? How about? Where do you think he got those blueberries? Why did she say Joel like it's got 3 syllables in it? Joel? You're the top of a Swiss mountain? Why are you saying it that way?
It sounds like a furry pretending to like howl.
Yeah, she's just there at nighttime. If there's a full moon, you just go, Joel. That's my signal. Ellie must be in trouble.
VTuber lost her jewel.
Why did they pick blueberries? Why didn't they say like... Now, this is where I have a problem with the story. Because in The Last of Us Part 2, there's a point where she is making out with
Look to Metal Gear Solid vid for example. All of the question mark goes into a nest. It is then brought down in size, and the name scrolls on the right-hand side. Look to MGS vid for EDXD ample. Example. That is the craziest way to spell example. I can't even look. That's creativity right there. That dang on creativity right there, learning how to spell example like that.
Dina, and she says, don't worry, I can't infect you.
I can't get you infected if that's what you're worried about.
But then she bites David and goes, well, now you're infected. Haha. And I think it's actually true. I think he is infected. So they just kind of retconned that. Either kissing does the infecting, or biting doesn't. You can't have it both ways.
I wonder who that guy is. Oh, there's two of them!
Yeah, so I'd give it a 9.8. I kind of didn't like those diesel bits. I thought that was a bit cheap. What about you, Your Majesty? What would you give it?
On a scale from avoid it to have to platinum it, I would say I would firmly place it on a beat it.
Rent, do not buy. Alright, get gamer subs also. Free samples and a free sticker. They've got a new flavor, salt.
Alright. I was gonna play the game, but I have to go to work tomorrow. And I've had a pretty exciting day. I streamed earlier today. I played a little bit of Fallout 4. I think that's it. I think we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it. It's a short one. The Expleens are usually shorter anyway. Like, ooh, I've been considering getting Elden Ring Night Rain. Now, if you guys want to watch me play Elden Ring Night Rain, let me know. It'll have to wait. I can't play it when everyone else is playing it. I don't have the money to play it right now. I don't. It is a reasonably priced video game, but I got bills to pay, you know. I live life. I haven't played Elden Ring in like 9 months. 9 months almost. Since the DLC came out. Ooh, wow. No, the pleens are actually way longer. The first 2 pleens were good. Oh yeah, Internet Historian popped into the chat this morning. He didn't pop in today because I don't know what time it is in Australia, but I assume it's probably like an unreasonable hour or evening time, and I don't want to get in the way of his gardening or eating dinner. But anyway, thanks for coming into the stream. We'll end it here, and I'm gonna go watch everyone play Elden Ring Night Rain. Bye bye.